All week long, we have been showing you how to live your best life in 2023. So today, we wanted to help you take your financial health to the next level. So here to show us her money-saving tips towards a better financial future is advisor and expert, Kristin O'Keeffe Merrick. Kristin, look at you.
Look at you.
Oh my goodness.
I love this.
We both look so angelic. I love this. So now, Kristin, it is a new year and the holidays are over. It's so much going on. What can we do to better our finances?
Yeah, so first, nobody's gonna get overwhelmed.
Okay.
Part one of this is that I really wanted to start with this today because I don't want you to start this financial journey that we're all gonna go on this year with the idea that we have to compare ourselves to anyone else. Mm-hmm. This is a personal journey. This is our money. Maybe you include your spouse if you got one, great. But this is something that you need to do on your own, and you cannot get yourself wrapped up in like, my sister has a nice purse and the guy next door drives a Mercedes. How could he drive a Mercedes? That kind of thing. I need you to like focus, go inwards, and remember that most people project what they want to project about their money, and a lot of it isn't real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's my number one tip is focus on yourself. Mm-hmm. Focus on making sure that you are ideally holding all your goals and outlining your goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and what do you have any like money-saving tips for the new year?
Okay.
Oh, tell me something. Tell me something.
I got a lot. Okay. The first thing I want you to do is not be afraid of this journey. Okay.
Right.
Don't get bogged down by the jargon. The jargon is really overwhelming sometimes, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, and I don't want that. This is all middle school math at most, in most personal finance stuff, and it's something that you can learn. You can read about it, whatever your way of learning, listening to podcasts, reading blogs, reading the newspaper, whatever it is, get yourself set up for success and understand.
Okay.
And then my big thing for today is I'm gonna talk about, and again, this is a word that I don't want anyone to get freaked out by. It's called a personal audit.
Okay, I'm getting freaked out already. Audit.
It's a nasty word.
Okay.
It's a nasty corporate word, but we're not gonna get bogged down by it.
Okay.
The first part of this is understanding what your life looks like. Pop open the hood of the car. What does life look like underneath? What you own minus what you owe is what we call your net worth. Okay? Understanding what that looks like for you. What you own. If you own a house, a car, if you have a bank account, if you have a retirement account, that's all an asset.
I own my 17-year-old son.
Yes.
That's part of it. And that's a lot right there.
But could you sell him on the market?
Girl, I done tried. It ain't working, but
exactly.
Okay.
The secondary part is understanding what you owe. What's your debt look like? Okay? And debt is made up of maybe 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is your good debt. That's your mortgage. Not a bad thing. Middle debt is kind of like student loans, maybe some personal debt. Bad debt, credit cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Credit cards charge you sometimes 25% interest. They compound on a daily basis. They grow and accumulate. That is the number one thing you need to control. And if that is a problem for you, that needs to be the number one priority for the new year.
Okay.
Controlling it.
Okay.
Part 2. Understanding and looking at what you spend each month. And again, not the easiest conversation. It's a little bit like tracking your food. There's a lot of diet analogies that I try to stay away from, but this is one of them, right?
Okay.
So how do you spend your money? Where does it go? You have an overhead each month. You have your fixed costs, right? Those are your mortgage payments, your car, your
rent,
cell phone, all the things,
all that.
Okay? Sometimes you can control your fixed costs. Most of the time you can't.
It's the same.
They're kind of the same every month.
Yeah.
The variable costs are where you can pull levers, okay? Variable costs are kind of everything else, right? And that is dining out, that's buying clothes, that's traveling, that's buying your kids things they don't need because they all don't need the things. And so you can control the variable, but until you know how you spend that money, you can't really dive in. So this is the time of year where every bank and every credit card is going to send you what they call their year-end statement.
Okay.
And that is going
That's
to
the
be...
one I throw away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. But if you don't throw it away and you look at it, the way that it's categorized, it will show you where your spending is going. And it's not pretty. Okay, it is not pretty. You're like, what did I spend on, that specific restaurant this year? That's obscene.
Okay.
So you need to kind of decide where the money's being spent and allocated, and then where you can start to make a difference in that.
Okay.
Okay. And that is where we have to talk about mindfulness and your money.
Okay, that's our last
Yeah.
step right there. This what scared me. You be breathing hard before you talk. You just like,
and again, not trying to scare anybody, okay?
Like, we going in for surgery.
I know,
okay.
but mindfulness is, okay, so let's pretend you were having a transaction and I want to buy this cup of coffee from you and I hand you money and you give me the coffee.
Right.
And that is a transaction. I've given you money and I have a moment of saying, oof, she's charging me $20 for this cup of coffee, but okay. That is a transaction. What happens these days is we don't have a lot of those transactions, either because we're spending on the app, we're spending on the phone, or we're putting things through kind of without knowing. So our brain is like free, but the checking account is like not free, decidedly not free.
Yeah, that's like my son uses that Apple Pay. He thinks money falls out the sky.
But by the way, that is a transactionless transaction, which is what gets us into trouble. So you have to start being thoughtful about where that money's going. Are you being mindful of your spend? Maybe it's using cash for a month to kind of have that moment of like, oof, why is she charging me so much for this coffee? And then the secondary part is understanding where you can improve your life. So I order food too much, right? I order in too much.
Yeah,
it's just a
DoorDash should
problem.
be called Sherri.
Okay.
Okay, that's much I order.
And here's the thing, there's all the secret fees, there's all the things like subscriptions are a real slippery slope. Like I have 2 Hulu subscriptions, I don't know why.
Right.
I can't figure out how to. So like these are things that you need to worry about. And you need to be able to control. If you can do that and you can start to cut things out and you can start to, again, treating it a little bit like a diet, don't be too restrictive. If you're somebody who just like needs to do the one thing a week, treat yourself, but really dig in where you can make an impact.
I got it. I'm gonna try to do this. We gotta check in with each other.
Yes.
Kristin, I want to thank you for being here. For more info on Kristin and her financial tips, go to sherrishowtv.com.